The sun was rising to a new challenge. The Live Hard programme, Phase 1, the second section of the Live Hard programme created by American business owner Andy Frisella. Completing the first section of the Live Hard programme, 75 Hard, completely took me to the next level. It was a fantastic achievement, one that I was immensely proud of. And now I was to move on to the second part, Phase 1, which I failed at on my first attempt, and my YouTube video explains how. So this was my second attempt at the Phase 1 stage. But despite my best efforts, the junk food came calling, and I just gave in to drinking this Monster energy drink and a takeaway Chinese, resulting in my failure. So I began again on the third attempt. So when I woke up this morning to put on one of my running t-shirts, I realised that the running t-shirt that was baggy on me is now the running t-shirt that doesn't fit me anymore, and I look like a Teletubby. So that was quite disheartening when that happens, when you've put on weight and you realise just how bad you've become. So it was about me flipping that this morning and thinking to myself, do you know what, that's the purpose, like that's the goal, to get back into that t-shirt. So I'm trying to flip that now and use it as fuel. Unfortunately though, I didn't manage to get back into that t-shirt because once again my mental state wasn't right. I gave into junk and failed again. So I built up my desire for my fourth attempt. I refused to give up. So it's day one, and I woke up this morning with just the worst feeling. Like, how can I explain it? It just feels like I've been hit by a bus. And all day I have battled with the temptation of just ordering from Just Eat a load of junk food. Yes, I do feel better afterwards. I think after about 10 minutes of that stop-start run, I felt like I was of more value to myself. Look at that, pancetta, onion and garlic. And I failed again. I just couldn't get my head right. It was all in my mind. I wanted it, but did I want it enough? I didn't give up. I kept trying. And I started to work on deeper reasons. I started to journal, to work on my wellness, to work out my mood fluctuations, to work out some schedule, and I listened to beneficial podcasts. But I still reached for the Biscoff biscuits and the junk food, and I failed yet again. This is really a journey where failure is success. Because the more I failed, the more I tried. This is probably one of the hardest videos that I've actually had to record because, you know, when you're not in a right frame of mind, you've been like not doing well, and like when you record a video when you are doing well, you don't mind being on camera, you feel like you've got loads of self-confidence, but when you spend a long time not being like mentally well and not doing the right things, it becomes a hard video, but it has to be done. But I continued to battle with my mind and attempted my 6th attempt. And I couldn't even eat junk food properly without burning it. And I failed yet again. And I wanted the 7th attempt to be my success, but I even failed at that again. It came down to my final attempt, because the Live Hard program, you have to complete it on the anniversary of your 75 Hard start date. So mathematically, this was my last chance. And I had to get into my head that it can't get easier. I had to stop making excuses. It's hard, and it's going to be hard, and I just need to get on with it. Once I'd surrendered myself to the suffering, I was now using my renewed positivity to take into my life outside of the program, where I made a conscious effort to sell my habit installation journals. And with that daily action, sales started to come in, and I was starting to see the benefits of determination and a refusal to quit. Are you someone that used to be fit, but now you're fat? Because if you are, join the club, that's exactly what I am.
So get ready, it's going to be 45 minutes to 15 minutes long, and let's go.
If you've had a bad day, be patient. Surrender yourself to the suffering. That's what it takes to succeed at anything that you want to do in your life. You have to surrender yourself to the suffering. I was doing well, but I was still suffering dramatically with my mental health. I felt drained and negative, but I knew I can't quit. Every day was a tremendous battle, I was fighting withdrawal symptoms with the sugar and junk. I was having to reset my dopamine levels, which can bring on depression. And I was battling with my mental health and just doing all I can to get it done. Whatever day I'm on, good or bad, my dad is always with me. And I took the determination and my will to improve, and I took that to create a new podcast. Around day 19, I started to feel a bit brighter. Things were looking more positive, my outlook had started to improve, and I could now start to see my whole life starting to improve. I was feeling pleasant, and I was feeling negative just 20 days ago. Healthy eating over a long period of time really does improve your mood. It takes a while. The same with positive reading and purpose. When everything becomes aligned and you start living in a healthy way, everything becomes brighter. You start appreciating things in life. You start to increase your outlook. We have to get ourselves on the path to healthy living and self-improvement. When we do that and we live this way, things just fall into place. So 4 weeks ago, I ran for 2 minutes and 37 seconds before I had to stop and walk. 3 weeks ago, I ran for 5 minutes and 57 seconds before I had to stop and walk. Last week, I ran for 21 minutes before I had to stop and walk. And today, this week, I've just ran for 31 minutes before I had to stop and walk. And I completed my first 5K of the year since January. It's not about where we start, it's about consistency. If you can only run for 10 seconds, start at 10 seconds. Because great results only come from time and consistency. And those great results and positivity were portrayed into my new podcast with my new guest, Georgina McKim, where I worked hard on the episode to finally get my first guest episode broadcasted, which was a very proud and confident and satisfying achievement. Exercise your inherent wisdom to know that failure is only a failure when seen as a failure. Every so-called failure carries a secret fortune just begging for you to pay attention to it. I see that they arrive to serve me so well, to help dissolve my ego, raise my wisdom, build intimacy with my gifts and open my heart to greater love. And on reflection, I really am grateful that I didn't get every success that I wanted, because where life was leading ended up being vastly brighter. The same holds true for you.